All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. When peace becomes fragile, leadership is forced to confront the fractures. In the face of recent killings across several states, the Nigerian Governors Forum is calling for immediate reinforcement of the nation's security architecture. Speaking after their meeting in Abuja, Governor Hope Uzodinma revealed that the forum had resolved to set up a committee that would engage directly with heads of security agencies. Their goal, a unified tech-enabled strategy to curb violence and restore order. The 36 governors emphasized that recruitment into security outfits must increase, while technology, surveillance systems, drones, and data analytics should take a frontline role in policing. It is a race against time in the battle for national safety, and the governors are demanding more than talk. They are demanding tools. The demands by the governors, for more security personnel, technology, how credible are these demands?
It's sensible to make these demands. It is also sensible for the governors to look inwards and find homegrown solutions to these security problems. To imagine that, it is only the federal government that should solve the problem is to be foolish. We talk about politics being local. Why shouldn't security be local? The security problems that people have in Lagos is not the kind of security problem that they have in the far north, for example. The security problems that they have in the south-south is not what they have in the southwest. It's not what they have in the northwest or northeast. So you look at our country, each geopolitical zone has its own peculiar security problems. I addressed the board of MTN 2 years ago, the board and the shareholders. And my mandate was to do a countrywide security report that can help them to take business decisions. Where can we invest? Where should we pull back? I did 46 slides for them. At the end of the day, one of the board members from the Northeast, after my presentation, he came to me. So I've never seen anything like this. This is comprehensive, and you hit the nail on the head. I come from the Northeast. I can tell you that everything you said is true about my geopolitical zone. He not only said, he said that even to the hearing of board members and shareholders, some of them joined by Zoom from South Africa and other African countries where MTN is present. Cultism is rampant in the South-South.
Okay.
But terrorism is rare. Terrorism is in the Northeast, very much so. Lagos carjacking is rampant. Mugging of people in traffic and on the roads is common. But mugging of people in the Northwest is a rarity. These are places where I've lived in. I know that they have their security. Kidnapping is not even common in Lagos. After the kidnapping of those students, those school students, Babington, what was the name of that school again?
Is it around the area?
Yeah, around the, yes, I think.
Yeah.
Is it Ikorodu?
Ikorodu linkage to Ekpe, yes.
So, after that, we've not really had kidnappings of students. But in the Northwest,
Almost like a
students have been kidnapped in times, whether they are secondary school students or even university students, School of Forestry. In the Northwest, it is the norm. How many times do you hear soldiers engage criminals here, gun battle, It is in the northeast that we see that happen. It is in some parts of northwest that we see that happen. It's a reality in this part of Nigeria. So security is local. It shouldn't be politics alone that will say, oh, all politics. Security is local. Let governors realize that and look for homegrown solutions. I was happy to hear Governor Obasani say, look, in more than 20 months, we've not had any communal strife in Kaduna State. He has found a way
around it
to solve that problem. And this same governor is also using the carrot and stick approach to address the problem of banditry. I went to Brinengwari and I spoke to bandits. I spoke to the father of the biggest bandit in that area. Jabros is the biggest bandit in that area, and I spoke to his dad. So today, they've agreed to stop harassing people. Otherwise, you can't go to Brinengwari. Even soldiers were afraid to go to Brinengwari. But I went there. And at a point, I even moved through the town without security, just myself and the chairman of the local government. And I did a pistol count where I was saying, CEO, there is no soldier here. We are taking a walk through the town. Somebody will say, oh, you said there is improvement in security, but you have soldiers. I moved into the heart of Brinengwari without a soldier. I have the video. Just to demonstrate that, look, yes, they came with me, but in that part of town, we were moving around, we didn't have soldiers. He found a way to reach out to these guys and to make some promises. Stop killing our people. So we can adopt the carrot and stick approach. Those of them who refuse to lay down their weapons, exterminate them. They don't deserve to live with us. So all of the suggestions that they made, I don't have any quarrel with it. These are things that we have suggested in the past. We've not recruited enough. Governor Obasani was talking about the fact that we don't have more than 300,000 soldiers. A country this big.
Which is totally...
Go and check the strength of the Algerian army. Check the strength, the numerical strength of the Egyptian army. Yes, you can say, oh, those ones, they had fought wars, you know, nearly all their lives. But it doesn't matter. We need far more soldiers than we have now. We need far more policemen. For years, we were not recruiting into the police.
But, you know, the back and forth between police commission...
Yes, it affected even the army. For some time, we were not recruiting. We were not recruiting. It was Ihejirika. I remember Ihejirika decided...
People are retiring.
You know, people retire, people lose their lives. We need to, as people are retiring, as people are losing their lives on the battlefield, we should constantly... We need far more soldiers, far more policemen. So many of them are carrying bags for wives of big politicians and other people. Yes, people who should be defending us, defending our streets.
A very embarrassing one, truly.
So, I agree. When we talk about using technology, drones, we need drones. Drones that can help us monitor our forests. Technology that can identify people who are hiding in the forests from hundreds of miles away. They can identify, there's technology that can help you identify where people are. And then you can send bombers to go and serve them justice. We need to invest in that area. States should be permitted to have their drones. A situation in which you want the NSA to give people permission to police their own area, it has to stop. Such laws have to be amended because these are antiquated laws, laws that are meaningless.
That's true.
Allow them. I'm aware that even Osun State procured drones at some point, but they could not use it. And then you come and blame the governors that they are collecting the security vote, but they can't improve security. They need to look inwards.
That's true.
The issue of personnel is a valid. Even when I went to Borno State, I'm yet to run those stories. Even the soldiers told me that they need yes, they need more soldiers. Any area that you've secured, you need to put soldiers there at least for some time.
Absolutely.
So I agree with them, but I also make the point that they should look inwards and find solutions. Just as I said, the northern leaders,
yes,
some of them who are shouting about appointments and all that, they should be thinking about, okay, shouldn't I be ashamed that where I come from, there is insecurity, I cannot stop the killing of my people? That's what they should be bothered about, not where does this one come from, where does that one come from. And somebody will open his mouth to say because you are Yoruba, that you are not from the north. Absolute nonsense. I am from Kogi State, the Yoruba-speaking part of Kogi, and nobody, I repeat, nobody can claim that he's more northern than me. I was born, raised in the north. I speak Hausa. So that is the most dominant language in the area. Imagine somebody who comes from a minority tribe in northern Nigeria believing that he has more greater stake in terms of identity as a northerner than someone like me. What can be more unreasonable than that?
Okay. All right. Okay, let's look at why have we not been able to harness technology, deploy technology, drones. I heard there was something, NICOM-SAT. There was a time we had, why can't we do this?
You see, like beyond the rhetorics, beyond these words, you know, I think Biko has nailed virtually every point raised in that communique. Having said that, see, practically, we have seen that this goes a long way to reduce crime. It does. I will give you practical examples. Even here in Lagos, where we are, I recalled a governor who just put some lights, talking about development, in that Iyanoworo, for example. In fact, my wife has been robbed there twice, where her phone was picked up. And so when the place was lit up and you could see that there was enough light there, trust me, people could hardly talk about it. I don't know about now. And you also know what happens in traffic and the kind of things. And when, you know, the police move into those areas, the thing reduced drastically. But we're talking of deeper insecurity issues in different zones, like you said, they are peculiar. And the governors must look at this issue. While we are still having the debate of state police and whatever you want to come up with, make use of what you have, face this issue, pump money into this particular...
The money, the funding.
Exactly.
Very
For
key.
example, I don't want to mention the governor because this was discussed off camera, where a governor told us that he gave us a breakdown of what he's using his security votes on. That many of you are sleeping today because these are the things that we deploy our resources into. So that's to let you know that governors should be more responsible. They should use this money to find a way of securing their people. It costs. It comes with a lot of cost. These drones that will be manned in the forest, rather than, I'm not against forest guards, but beyond that, you need to empower them. You need to use technology. This money that has been transferred by kidnappers and stuff like that, through BVN, through alerts, some of these things can be uncovered. So the political will is the way forward. Let this governor be more drastic. Let them be more committed to protecting their people. And when they have this zeal to say that enough of this killing, so when the president is talking to the governor and say, enough is enough, he knows what he's talking about. Because there is little that the president can do compared to the governor, who is closer, who knows all the routes. And if there are foreigners, like the governor of Benue State said, it means that you must be able to also track them and find a way out.
I remember a former Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Kmanta, said that we have not been able to even use the NIN, the BVN, the technology.
Which was part of the reason.
Exactly. Why?
This thing can be
It's not worth all the pain, after all.
What do you mean
It's not worth all the pain, because in spite of that, we cannot deal with banditry.
Exactly.
And these guys need to make calls.
Exactly.
To be able to extract money from families of victims and all that. How are they able to make those calls? There was a bandit that somebody sent his voice note to me. If you see the kind of money he was asking for. And when they told him, no, where do you expect us to see this kind of money? He said, oh, I am the king of the forest. The way you have governors, I am like a governor in the forest. Find the money or you'll be sorry. You know? So how do we? They make calls all the time.
They don't. I'm not sure they use satellite phones.
No, no. They make calls. In fact, when it became difficult, some of them, especially those in the far north, far northwest, they were using the service providers from Niger, like this Orange.
Okay, Orange.
Yes, you know, you can, when those border communities, they will use it and it works. So they were even using it and continued banditry. It's something that we should be bothered about. Look at the Kainji Lake National Park, one of the true heritage of our country. For so long, the forest was abandoned. Now it is habitation for bandits. The governor of Kwara was complaining. The chief of army staff now said, go and flush out those bandits. Why did we leave those places unattended for so long? It was the same way we left Sambisa unattended. Sambisa used to be the training ground for the strike force of Sani Abacha. Today, it is habitation for Boko Haram. Today, Kainji Lake National Park, which stretches all the way to Oyo State, even stretching beyond Oyo, is now the home to bandits. The whole of the Shiroro area, bandits are doing what they like, killing civilians, killing soldiers. Do you know how many times they've even raided military outposts? So we have a big problem on our hands.
Absolutely.
I've suggested before, I don't know why it's difficult for us to do it. Let's declare that for 3 months we want to fight these people.
Constant bombardment.
All the bombs that we need, let states put resources together. States and federal government, let them put resources together.
That's going to be expensive.
Is it not taking of people's lives? Is it not expensive?
Well, true.
More expensive.
What is more valuable than human life?
Okay, all right, gentlemen.
I just think that if we want to solve the problem, we have to do something drastic.
Exactly. We need to go on this quick break now. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.